to the Cast Off. This is the #1 recasting show on the internet where two contestants compete by recasting your favorite actors in movies you love. I'm your host, Craig Price. It is the season finale of the Cast Off. With the holidays and we got several SoCal conventions coming up, and the fact that I finally got off my butt and found a job. Thank you, COVID, for... Oh, God, it finally happened. So I will be starting my job next Monday, on Monday, which with the commute will make this a much more difficult situation. So we're going to figure that out in the month and a half and get situated. But we will definitely be back at the end of the year, and we'll start in 2022. But I wanted to make sure that our last one was one of our best ones. So that is why tonight we have two great past guests. We love them and we know them. From Everything I Learned from Movies, Steve Kondrick, and from Metal Geeks, Cary Gordon. Gentlemen, how are you, sir?
Good, man. I'm excited for this. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
I had to get that in there.
I know.
I'm sorry, Steve. I stole it from you, probably.
Oh, no worries. I was just going to say congratulations, Craig. Welcome back to the machine.
Yeah, I know. I am going to be a cog in the machine. We're going to find out how much it's going to grind me up in the next couple months. But let's think of the good things. Like, Steve, what's going on with Everything I Learned from Movies? It's November. What's happening between now and the end of the year?
November. I mean, right now we're in the middle of November land, where we're talking about Peter Pan movies and diving into that character, which I'm not really a huge fan of, but there may be some surprises.
He's kind of a dick.
Yeah. We're focusing more on like Captain Hook, who's oddly enough less of a dick. And then next month we're going into Santa movies because it's December.
It's got to go Santa movies, absolutely. Yes. And Cary Gordon with the Metal Geeks, what's going on for you guys? I know that you just came back from a cruise, and you can tell by that sunny complexion you've got.
Look at that.
The whitest man in America.
Don't look directly at it.
So as Metal Geeks, we always do our best of movies, best of music, best of video games. So we're starting to prepare for that. The music one is very important to us. So like right now, I think there's like people do like a top 20. I have probably like a top 50.
Wow,
top
that many good things, huh?
So yeah.
All right.
There's a lot of good metal out there. That's all I got to say.
I'll take your word for it. I'll have to take your word for it. And George has a list of 3, right?
Maybe 4. We're not sure quite yet.
I can feel him. He's in Southern California right now. I can feel his essence. It's kind of like when you go into Mordor. But
he's right outside your door, man. You better be careful.
I feel like it. I feel like he's watching us right now, which is great. We need as many viewers as we can get. So, so we're going to start with the rules here. We have a game to play, and so we're going to show you a character. You're going to give me a replacement actor. The best choice gets 1 point. If for some reason you also get my secret selection, that's an additional point. Or sometimes the other judges go against my wishes, and the best choice isn't always Craig's choice. But let's be honest, my choice is almost always the best choice. But that's a good way if you start getting behind to be able to get back and regain a lead or get back into the game. Person with the most points wins, because that's how we play it here in America. If there's a tie, double feature to win, and we'll talk about those rules when and if it is necessary. But, as always, this show is brought to you by Matinee Heroes, and this week, Zaki Hassan and I discuss X-Men First Class. You can head over to matineeheroes.com/subscribe to follow the podcast, and you can also hear tonight's post-show exclusively on the audio version of CastOFF, which we air every Thursday in the Matinee Heroes feed. And if you're enjoying the CastOFF, well, while you get ready for 2022, please head over to matineeheroes.com/CastOFF, and you can find links to all of our video feeds. Please subscribe to the YouTube one. We're 25 short to the magical URL, and I'd love to be able to start the new year with a magical new youtube.com/CastOFF URL. Please. I don't know what I got to do. Do I got to beg?
Everybody sign your parents up on it. Give them those 25.
That's right. Even if you don't have to watch. Just sign up.
That's all Craig wants for Christmas.
Is a URL. That's how sad is that? All right. Well, it's the biggest franchise going right now, so let's ask the question, which we already did. How you Dune? Only we're going to focus on the 1984 David Lynch version. And, of course, the spice must flow. And to get the spice flowing, Steve is going to go first. And we're going to start off with the 30-year-old man playing a 15-year-old boy. Kyle MacLachlan is Paul. What is it? How do you say
Atreides.
Atreides? There you go. So, Steve, who do you have? Who is the Ubermensch Nebuchadnezzar, whatever he's called?
The Kwisatz Haderach or whatever.
Yeah, the Quidditch match.
Yeah, the Quidditch match. Yeah. I wanted to go with someone who is an amazing actor, even at a young age, so that when the decades of sequels that will come from this happen, they're able to age along gracefully with it. Unfortunately, he was also an actor that was taken far too young. I'm going with River Phoenix.
Absolutely. River Phoenix, known for the next Harrison Ford, because he played Harrison Ford's son in Mosquito Coast. He played Harrison Ford, the younger version, in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Stand By Me, he's amazing in. And, My Own Private Idaho is one of his more famous movies that he did. And absolutely, gone way too soon. Super talented. One
of the best Zoo Train sequences ever.
Oh, yes, that horn.
Absolutely.
I don't know how that rhino knew exactly where to stick that horn, but he's pretty good at it. So, Cary, who do you have to go up against the legendary River Phoenix?
So I had a little bit of trouble with this because I saw the new version before I saw the original. So I was trying not to let that affect my choices. But looking at Kyle MacLachlan, the 80s, the coif, flowy hair, I was looking for somebody that could have that woe is me, everything is horrible type of vibe, but still be good and evil at the same time. And I just watched 3 movies with him over the weekend where he plays that type of character.
Yeah, he's in everything.
I went with Adam Driver.
Yeah, Adam Driver. He is the genocidal hottie that was Kylo Ren from the Star Wars sequels, but the man can act. Black Klansman, Logan Lucky, Silence. He was just in The Last Duel, which I think is still out in theaters. Maybe not. It was in and out.
I think it comes out on home release
Yeah.
in December.
I wouldn't doubt it. I know that Shang-Chi comes out Friday. Disney
It
Plus.
does.
Yeah. So we have River Phoenix, Adam Driver. The judges went, hey, it's 1984. Let's go with River Phoenix. Steve gets the point. Not that it should be an 84. We're using Doctor Who rules here where anyone through time and space. But I think the fact that he died young and he was really good probably won a lot of the judges over. I went with a young Leo DiCaprio, and then because a 15-year-old Gilbert Grape kind of Leo DiCaprio, and then when we have to age him up,
Did you say DiCaprio?
I did
Yeah.
DiCaprio, and when we have to age him up, we'll just take Titanic Leo. So now we get on to, well, this is Lady Jessica, played by Francesca Annis, who is his mom, but yet looks about the same age as him, and that was what threw me off in this version of the movie, because in the new version of the movie, Rebecca Ferguson looks age appropriate for Timothée Chalamet, who looks like he's 15. But here, it looks like Oedipus, and I didn't like that. It made me creeped out a little bit. So, Cary, who do you have playing the? I guess this would be the Space Mom, the S-MILF. Space Moms,
Smilf.
Smilf.
Lady Jessica, I sort of went off the rails here trying to figure out the name of who to choose. I went with a great actress. She's been around for a long time, still working today. I went with Jessica Lange.
Ah, yes. And she is an exceptional actress. I tried to find a mid-'80s Jessica for you, because she's still working today. Like you said, she's in a lot of those American Horror Story movies. She was in King Kong, Tootsie, Cape Fear, Rob Roy, all that jazz. Super, super phenomenal actress. So let's move on to Steve. Steve, who do you have playing the will they, won't they mom?
God.
Apparently in the book it's worse. It's much more blatant in the book.
Oh my. Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
my.
Unfortunately,
Oh my.
never read the novelization of the 1984 movie Dune. I went with another actress who's incredible from the late 80s, early 90s, kind of her heyday. I went with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Ah, yes. Now, I tried to find an age-appropriate Michelle Pfeiffer here. She's classy yet familiar roles. She always plays ladies that are just kind of like a teacher, or she's just a regular old jazz singer, or she's just somebody you kind of know, but she's also super classy all the time. Batman Returns, Scarface, Lady Hawk. There's in that stupid Dangerous Minds where she always sat with the chair backwards.
Hey, but it gave us that great Coolio song.
Yeah, well, I don't think great and Coolio go together very often. All right. So we've got Jessica Lange, Michelle Pfeiffer, and the judges also went with Michelle Pfeiffer. So Steve takes a 2-point lead, and Cary shaking his head thinking this could be the end all so soon.
What are you doing to me?
Don't worry, Cary. It always goes like this.
I went with middle-aged Elizabeth Taylor because she's got the classiness that we're looking for, but also I think she could also wouldn't take much crap or guff, as they say. The spice must flow, and I must flow. All right.
Like a husband number 4, Elizabeth
Yes.
Taylor?
No, number 2, I think she'd be. So now we get Patrick Stewart with hair playing Gurney Halleck, which the names of this is going to be tough for me because they're either like simple names like Paul or Jessica, or they're like Gurney Halleck or wait till we get to the Baron. Good God. So who do you have as the number 1 choice for Patrick Stewart?
You did it. All right.
Number 1.
Well, Gurney, he's kind of the father figure to Paul and helping him to learn how to fight and kind of become a leader and stuff as well. So obviously I went with 1960s James Garner.
Absolutely. I went with a 1970s picture because all the 60s pictures were in black and white, but this is close enough. He's got that.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got that good looking. He's very much like Josh Brolin in the new movie. So
absolutely,
he's a handsome maverick, obviously, from Maverick, where he was also in Space Cowboys. But here are the 2 movies we've done here at the Matinee Heroes: The Great Escape and Victor Victoria, where he's just great. He's just a nice, affable guy. And if you want to see a guy that looks great in a turtleneck, go watch The Great Escape and see James Garner in his turtleneck and his blue jacket. He just looks amazing. I thought he was in the Navy.
Craig, when you guys finally decide to do Tank on Matinee Heroes, I think you've got a guess right here.
You know what? I remember watching Tank as a kid. It's not as bad as I think. It's got C. Thomas Howell, my buddy C. Thomas Howell in it. So,
yes,
yeah, absolutely. So, Cary, who do you have?
Agreeing with Steve, I was trying to find somebody that was like an older figure that could train young Paul Atreides and show him the ways of the warrior and all that weird stuff. I went with somebody. His name happens to be Hugh Jackman. That's a wonderful picture too.
Yeah, everybody who knows how much I just adore Hugh Jackman in these great films like Swordfish, Van Helsing, Real Steel, Movie 43. These are that's like a whole month worth of everything I love from movies.
You picked the best of the best.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for Hugh Jackuary.
Jackuary. Oh, God. That sounds wrong.
That needs to come with a warning.
So we have James Garner, some guy. The judges.
I bet you I'm not your pick. I don't get your pick.
Yeah, the judges went against my wishes and picked Hugh Jackman, and Cary gets a point. God damn it.
It's the point is even sweeter when you hate it.
I went with Ron Perlman. I thought Ron would be great.
Oh yeah, it's a great photo too.
I know. I love this picture. I just like, hey, I found this picture of Ron Perlman. I got to use it.
I love how he's looking at his finger too.
Yeah. So, well, now we get to the dad, and this is Duke Leto, no relation to Jared, played by the wunderkind Jürgen Prochnow from Das Boot. Cary, who do you have playing the very regal and and I think Oscar Isaac was fantastic in the movie with that glorious beard. I think
beard.
The beard does most of the work.
Yeah, it really does. I was trying to find somebody that could look good in a beard, but he's definitely a father figure. Maybe to even one of the other characters or one of the other actors that I chose. I went with James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. He's known for being a Scottish leading man from X-Men First Class, which you can listen to this weekend. You've also got him in Wanted.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Victor's Frankenstein. He's 58 different people in Split. And I mean, Atomic Blonde's got Charlize Theron. I didn't really see him in that because I wasn't paying attention, but apparently he's in that as well. All right. So who do you have as the father figure, Steve?
As the father figure, also knows how to rock a beard well. Possibly one of the greatest living actors.
Oh, definitely.
Chameleon, blends into every role. Sir Gary Coleman. Coleman, wow. Old man.
Oh.
Old
Gary
man.
Coleman from
Old
Different
man.
Strokes. That'd be
Gary Old Man. There we go.
Well, he is one of our greatest living actors. Not Gary Coleman, because he's neither a living or a great
He's
actor.
neither living nor an actor. Yeah.
But
If you've never seen that bike,
I missed that. What? Say that again.
I said if you've never seen that bike episode, that was pretty good acting.
Oh, well, if you've ever seen him in the Toulouse-Lautrec episode where he's on his knees for the whole movie pretending to be a midget, I'm sorry, a little person, it's pretty scary. But he was in Sid and Nancy, Bram Stoker's Dracula. He's Commissioner Gordon. We see his softer side in the Batman movies. Sirius Black. And
No relation.
Yeah. And Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. So we have James McAvoy, Gary Oldman. The judges went with, as you said, one of the greatest living actors we've got, Gary Oldman, and Steve now has a commanding 3-1 lead, but there's still 6 points on the board. I went with Donald Sutherland.
I agree with that one.
With Donald Sutherland or Gary Oldman?
Gary Oldman.
Okay.
I agree.
Well, yes.
Good job.
I like it when they admit defeat before the game's even over. So, all right.
Am I done yet?
Not yet. So, next is my favorite character of both the new movie and the old movie, and I like the old movie version better. And hold on a second. You just sit right there, Steve.
It's me.
It's not. Yeah, you are a villain. Ah, yes. Baron Harkonnen. This is Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, played gleefully by a disgusting Kenneth McMillan. A very pustule-ridden, totally different version than the Stellan Skarsgård, just kind of Marlon Brando and Apocalypse Now version. So, Steve, who do you have as the gross, disgusting leader of the Harkonian family? Or Harkonnen?
Well, for those who don't know, there's this wonderful documentary out there called Jodorowsky's Dune about Alejandro Jodorowsky and how in the 70s he was going to try to bring Dune to a theater near you. Eventually, it fell apart because he was kind of crazy, and it became Star Wars and Aliens and a bunch of other movies heavily influenced by the designs and all that. But he did have one thing right. Baron Vladimir Harkonnen being played by 1970s Orson Welles.
Oh my God, he's a cinematic genius. I'll give him that. Who his size equaled his ego. So he was started off in Citizen Kane, which we've done in the Muppet movie, Touch of Evil, The Third Man, and of course, we saw him and Daniel Craig fight in Casino Royale. Oh wait a minute, no, that's a different Casino Royale. I was like, he must have lost a lot of weight for that role. Cary, who do you have playing the disgusting head honcho?
So he's a baron. He's an evil guy. Doesn't get a lot of respect, I'm sure. Not as much respect as he would want. So on that, I went with Rodney Dangerfield.
Swinging for the moon.
Uh-huh.
Rodney Dangerfield, known for poor bathrobe etiquette. If you've ever heard stories about Rodney Dangerfield, you'll know that he always had his bathroom open and the boys were out. And it was just, and that's at the comedy club that he owned, because I worked at Dangerfield's in New York one time. So he was in Caddyshack, Back to School, Ladybugs, but he also took a turn in Natural Born Killers and was Lucifer in Little Nicky. So that one is way out there. We've got Orson Welles, Rodney Dangerfield. I don't know. This is the fat spectrum right here. They're both heavy and crazy, but they're going with Orson Welles. And Steve now has a 4-1 lead. But again, there's still a chance. I went with Danny DeVito, mostly from the Batman Returns take. Him going eating all the time. I felt he'd be a good bad guy. Well,
Biting noses.
Well, now we get to the creepy witch of the Bene Gesserit's, the Reverend Mother. She's just basically a bald witch. So, Cary, who do you have playing the bald witch who then burns his hand, which we didn't see in the new movie, but they did it very graphically in the old movie?
Yeah, the old movie was very microwavy.
Yes, it was.
I chose an actress that she's a phenomenal actress, been in a lot of great roles. But just looking at the role of the Reverend Mother, I think she would fit completely after her turn as the Ancient One. That's Tilda Swinton.
Ah, yes, Tilda Swinton, known for her otherworldly looks. Doctor Strange. She also was that 100-year-old lady in the Grand Budapest Hotel. Then she was that weird fascist in Snowpiercer. Then she was just a regular lady. When she's a regular lady, it's weird. That's when she looks great, but I don't expect her to look like a normal person. Because she's supposed to look like a Constantine, where she's an angel. This is where she looks like a weird, otherworldly angel.
Yeah, when she plays a regular person, it's like, all right, when do we find out she's a robot or an angel or some sort of...
She was in Trainwreck with Amy Schumer and was just a normal...
Oh, yeah.
She's just a normal lady, was just an awful boss, but normal lady. So, Steve, who do you have to go up against Tilda Swinton?
Well, I had to go another great actress. Of course, she's had some incredible hero roles, but she's also had some great darker roles, like in Snow White, A Tale of Terror. I went with Sigourney Weaver.
Yes, also has shaved her head as well. So she's known for being a badass alien killer, whether it's in Aliens movies, or in Galaxy Quest, or Working Girl, or Ghostbusters, or The Cabin in the Woods. All of those have been on Matinee Heroes. So you can head over to matineeheroes.com and look in the archives and hear us talk about Sigourney Weaver, one of the best ladies that has ever existed in cinema. She was lucky enough to come to Comicpalooza, and we got to see her there, and she was fantastic there. And I think I've said this before, when she's long gone and they put her bones in a museum, people are going to go, man, those are some good-looking bones, because she's just gorgeous at any age. She's just one of those timeless, beautiful ladies. So we've got Tilda Swinton, Sigourney Weaver, the Battle of the Bald Bitches. And I say that in the most powerful way possible. That's not derogatory. Well, the judges took pity on Cary and gave a thing for... So 1 point for Cary, but guess what?
Right.
I also picked Tilda Swinton. That means you get an extra point, Cary.
A twist!
And just like that, Cary is
like
just
M. Night
one
Shyamalan.
away. So that brings us down to the last pick, and it is a sad one because Dean Stockwell just lost him. He was a great character actor in a lot. He was in Air Force One as the Secretary of Defense. He was in Quantum Leap as Al, which I'll always remember for that. And in this movie, he plays Dr. Yue, who betrays the family, which is a big deal. But they didn't really explain it very much in the new movie. But in the old movie, it's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start with Steve. Steve, I'm just going to go with it. You went with...
Yeah, I went with someone who can act the hell out of a scene without really showing any emotion. I went with the ageless one, Keanu Reeves.
Of course, John Wick, The Matrix, Point Break, Bram Stoker's Dracula. At some point, we'll do Parenthood, and all of those movies you can see at matineeheroes.com. Cary.
Yes, indeed.
This is your last pick, man.
I'm going to do my best here. I went with somebody, and we could probably go with the 60s version of this guy. I just wanted somebody in this movie to say, oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my. I went with George Takei.
George Takei. He's known for owning the internet because he's one of the best and prolific tweeters and meme generators. We know him from Star Trek, of course, Sulu. He was a voice in Mulan. He was in Larry Crown. He doesn't do a lot of movies. He was a voice in Kubo and the Two Strings, the Green Berets, and a lovely man. I've met him several times, and he is just an absolute charmer. And his husband, Brad, is a nice guy, too. So, we've got Keanu Reeves, George Takei.
Ooh, my.
Oh, my. That Rodney Dangerfield pick is going to haunt you.
No, not really.
Not really, because George Takei gets you the tie. Absolutely.
What?
And we are going into a tiebreaker.
Oh, my gosh.
Absolutely. Yes.
Wait, Craig, did you not pick Keanu Reeves?
I did not pick Keanu Reeves. I might have, but the other two people also are in there, so it's not just me. So, before we get to our tiebreaker today is brought to you by our YouTube channel. Please go to YouTube. I don't know how I can tell you this anymore. We need subscribers. So before we start the tiebreaker, run over there right now, subscribe, and that way when we come back in January, you'll be ready for a whole new slew of people. All right. So let's get back at it.
We'll wait.
Yeah, well,
Do it now. We'll wait.
So here are the rules. You're going to name a complimentary movie to Dune. Then the second person is going to name a movie. Then I'm going to go back to the first person, and each person's going to have 60 seconds to defend their pick. So just tell me the name of the movie. Don't give me your explanation yet. So that's what I'm looking for next. And then, unfortunately, I have to pick the winner, which is why I hate tiebreakers. So, Steve, since you won and you got to go first the whole thing, so now you're going to name, and that's all I want, is the name of the tiebreaker. So what movie would you put as a double feature with Dune?
Star Wars.
Cary, what movie?
Time Bandits.
All right. Steve, defend yourself. You have 60 seconds.
Star Wars, one of the original blockbusters. I don't know, they've made like 15 movies off of it. All inspired basically by Dune. It's almost a ripoff. It's kind of ridiculous, but there are differences. Obviously, Harrison Ford's in it. I mean, come on. Mark Hamill. Everybody loves Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher.
Well,
you want to watch a double feature with 1984's Dune and 1977 Star Wars.
A vigorous defense by listing the cast as a defense. I've never heard that one before. Cary, Time Bandits. Why?
I wanted to get something. So Time Bandits, amazing, weird, strange, early 1980s movie, just like this version of Dune. One of the best Terry Gilliam movies, I think, and first in a trilogy, as they say. Just a great cast, just a weird movie, and it was very, very eye-opening to me as a kid, seeing that there's this weirdness out there.
All right. Well, I'm going to take a second to think about this, but while I take a second to think about it, do you know that we have T-shirts for sale? The holidays are coming up, and you'll want to get your favorite podcaster, who may actually be on the show right now. I know Cary's got a huge following. I know Steve has a wife named Izzy who seems to love him. Head over to matineeheroes.com/store, and you can get our very own Glengarry Glen Ross homage ABC Always Be Casting. They come in several different colors, and I'm just stalling for time while I decide who I'm going to give this to.
And while he's stalling, don't forget to go to his YouTube at YouTube. There's a link for it.
Yeah, look up Matinee Heroes. Yeah, exactly. So,
trying to earn some points there, buddy.
Yeah, he's trying to.
What are you talking about?
Well, this one's tough. This one is going to be very difficult because we do have Star Wars. Star Wars definitely has a lot of ripoffs of Dune, which is a ripoff of Lawrence of Arabia. It's Lawrence of Arabia in space.
I am currently wearing a Star Wars shirt.
I'm wearing a Star Wars hat.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, Dad even knows that.
Now, Time Bandits, also a great movie. Aesthetically, very similar in when you watch it. It's got that same kind of feel because they were made around the same time. It's like 82, 84.
The weird special effects.
Very weird practical special effects. I hate this, but I'm gonna have to go with. Star Wars. Steve, you are today's winner, and you have today's final thought.
Craig, first off, thank you so much for having me on the show. Guys, check out Everything I Learned from Movies. We're on all the major podcatchers. But before you even do that, go to the link at matineeheroes.com and get on that YouTube.
Dude, you already won.
Sign up all your friends. I just want Craig to get the URL so I don't have to hear about it.
I do too.
Yeah, he doesn't want to hear me talk about it ever again. And I don't want to have to talk about it.
And then he'll have us come on and talk about Congo on Matinee Heroes because it's the greatest movie ever made.
Congo is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
All right.
That would have paired well with Dune.
Well, This is one of our final games of the year. This is the final game of the year, and that is because I will be at the LA Comic-Con December 3rd through the 5th. Not only will I be doing two live cast-off shows where we'll be casting off The Matrix, which will be out at the end of the year, but also one of our favorite Yuletime movies, Batman Returns. And I will be also moderating for the cast of Arrow, the Arrowverse. That includes Neil McDonough, Katie Lotz, Katie Cassidy, and Katrina Law, and they might throw a couple more people in there. I will also be introducing and possibly talking at length with the man himself, Mr. Big Chin, not Jay Leno, Bruce Campbell. That'll be exciting. And then I'll be reconnecting with my Hero Academia friends who I have moderated for several times in several different places, whether it be Comic Palooza, whether it be Arkansas, whether it be Dallas. It'll be great fun. So please come to the LA Comic-Con December 3rd to the 5th. But if you can't and you don't live in the Los Angeles area, more importantly, I need you to go to whoneedsleep.org. Also, the 4th and 5th of December, where I will also be doing cast-offs for both the 4th and the 5th. Those will be pre-recorded, I believe, because I don't know if I'll actually be able to do them from the hotel. But whoneedsleep.org, it's a telethon that raises money for cancer. It's their 5th year. Our good friend Devin Pike and Rob Irvin are in charge of that, and it is a worthy cause. Want to be on the show next year? Head over to matineeheroes.com/castoff/applications, and you too could be on the show. I'll be circulating this out. We've had people on the show from the CastOFF application. In fact, Sam Matos is from the application and will be our live participant at the LA Comic-Con. You can email me at mhcastoff@gmail.com. Also, you can find us at the CastOFF Show on Twitter, Matinee Heroes at the Facebook group, matineeheroes.com/castoff. We'll find out all those links that Steve keeps talking about, which includes twitch.tv/matineeheroes. Special thanks to today's judges, Devin Pike and Brendan Agnew. Devin was on last week's episode about Dune, so I think he even picked Jessica Lange. It might have been Alan who did that. And Brendan Agnew, who is our good go-to co-host, who will be on our holiday Thanksgiving show. And before I leave, more importantly, I want to thank everyone that came to Season 3, because without our guests and without our players, there is no show. I would just be here sitting here talking about actors, and nobody wants to hear that. So I really want to thank every single person who's come on, who's judged, and who's helped. But I promise you, we will be back in 2022. So for my winner, Steve Kondrick, and for Cary Gordon, my name's Craig Price, and we are done.